this way this time. Giving it a horizontal effect, unfortunately, because YouTube is a little bit of a butthead today. Let's see if I can, I'm going to have to try and see if it still does it. I'm going to warn y'all, man, my hand, the thumb here is really giving me issues, and I don't have anything for it. Okay, so it's saying everything's fine. It just says the orientation is locked to not be able to rotate. I don't know. See, this is what I'm talking about. It keeps falling. Oh well. This is early morning. Ouch. This is early morning, so the sounds outside are going to be loud. I just poked myself. Okay. I decided to stay coming in. I'm going to just stay coming in here, and that way I will stay focused on this instead. Oh, it got on now. This is my journal. It's going to be my journal. Let me turn this over. I made this the last time I was in here. I like this idea, but I hate this. This stuff gets everywhere. I put holes in it so the smell will come out. This is just one of these. It's one of those things that I got from the resale store. And I opened up the container because it was already open anyway. So I opened it up and I poured it inside here. And I put these, I think those are a type of cardboard. Yeah, I got myself pretty good. Anyways, a type of like really pressed cardboard kind of stuff. And these little animal ones too. I kept some from my sister's journal. I don't know where I put them. Did I bring them? No, here they are right here. It's these. So these things that you can get from Dollar Tree, they're burnt on the side, so your fingers will get dirty if you're touching them. Or you can use these little wood cutout ones that are normal. But that's what's in here. That's the things I use inside. Like I said, if you use this, go with your own discretion. Don't make holes. I'm going to tell you right now because you're going to regret it. Because these, and if you can get something that does not either bleed out or that does not filter out through the holes, you'll be okay. Like if you got one that's granules instead of this dust, then you'll do okay. Or if you've got perfume, you can spray inside in between the two pieces of vellum and then put holes in it. That might work. There's so many different kinds of options. You can put it on a piece of paper, spray it real good, and then put that piece of paper in there. You can do a lot of ideas for, the smelly stuff, but this ain't one. And I also don't like the big word in there because it's bulky, where the other side is, to me, perfect. I love the other side. That's the one I'm going to recreate. These, if I use these, they will be on things like the pockets where they can stay flat and minimized, like small. And here I have, like I said, a mushroom. I have this little butterfly here that's just wood. Excuse the sounds. Can't help it. I live right by the main road. Anyways, and then I have these pretty ones, but the big word ones, I'm going to try and stay away from those. I'll use those for things like the front covers of my journals, kind of thing. These are really pretty butterflies. These are the things you can get from Dollar Tree in a pack, and there's 2, 2, and 2 in the pack. I used to have a package of them, but I don't know if I took them apart and put them in there. I can't remember. But anyways, so, yeah. And I pulled these out for my journal. My sister's has the dolphins, and I don't know what I did with those. I guess I put them in her and my mom's crate that holds, it's like a container that holds all their stuff. I'm just looking around to make sure that it's not laying around in here somewheres. Because I thought, I don't know. I don't know if I put them in there or not. Doesn't matter anyways. I'm going to recreate this, but I'm going to leave this off. I'll do the other side. Here, I'll open it and show you the other side. I prefer this side better. It's pretty. It's not, like, I'm not going to, these are going to turn the right way. They're upside down. and it's sealed, so there is that. I can't recreate, I mean, I can recreate it, but I can't, like, undo this. I don't like wasting, so I'll probably repurpose this somehow. Get rid of this side and glue this side onto another page maybe, or just take like a little piece and make an extended page kind of thing. I don't know, we'll see. You can always cut, like I can cut from here all the way down, leaving a gap on this side, and then there's like a lip, and I can still sew this side into a signature later on, because I still have this, you know, and the sewing and everything, and it's usable because it's flat. I just, unfortunately, I don't like that I didn't do the flowers correct, but that's part of the process of making mistakes and learning. Okay, so now I gotta get my vellum. Okay, we're gonna get rid of that. I ain't about to use that again. Nope. And if I think that that pretty paper, I call it pretty paper, the cellophane stuff, or acetate, I don't know what people call it. I call it cellophane. I'm a 60s baby, so I call it cellophane. And what I'm talking about is this stuff here that you wrap the Easter baskets with. I call that cellophane. I don't know what everybody else calls it, but I call it cellophane. Some people call things like this, or that thicker plastic, or like this stuff here is called acetate. I don't know if they call this acetate or not, so I could be being redundant on that, but this is definitely called acetate, the plastic that this is made with, because this is real pliable. It's not the thick one where it's unmovable. I don't know, do I have another one that's like that? Yeah, this is plastic container, but if you see, it's got that acetate to it kind of thing. It's real thick. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I mean, not saying it wrong, but maybe I'm thinking wrong on what's acetate and what's not. But I do have this here. Let me pull these down. These are ideas that I use, and I mean, these are things that I use in my journals. Not that. I use that, but I'm not using that right now for exampling. And that either. Is this stuff here. This is just the inside cover inside a box that has a window to it, so you can see the things inside. That's where this probably come from. You can also buy this, believe it or not. My front porch window thing. It used to have screen there, but cats kept breaking in, I call it. And so instead of having the screen, we have this stuff as our window. So you can buy this kind of stuff on Amazon. It comes coiled up. You can cut it to the size you need it, and you can use it in your journals. It's not just for front doors or for, you know, plexiglass. It's kind of like that, but it's not plexiglass. This is not plexiglass. Okay, plexiglass is like that thick stuff I just showed you. Like this is more, actually even that's not plexiglass. Plexiglass can't be bent. It's kind of like this. Kind of like that. This hard surface. Not this thing, okay? But the plastic. Here, let me open it up. This is more like plexiglass. They used it during the, this is how me and my husband, his grandmother, used to make up names for diseases, disorders, and stuff like that, so that she didn't hurt or offend people, because she's a real sweet person. Very, very Christian woman. But anyways, she came up with names that were really cute. And I got a lot of messiness that I need to clean up in here. But she was real sweet and kind, and she would come up with these cool little names for things, but the epizooty is one of them, and zoomeritis. But anyways, during the epizootie, being the virus, they were hanging up stuff like that thing that's real thick. That's considered plexiglass. This is more like acetate. And what was the other thing that I was talking about? This is, what did I call it a while ago? Acetate. No. What did I call this a while ago? Yeah, acetate. Yeah, acetate. So anyways, I always called this acetate because my mom called it acetate. Maybe she was illiterate to it and didn't know what it was. Neither do I. You tell me. Oh yeah, I forgot to plug y'all in. I just looked up and seen the cord hanging. Okay. I'll keep y'all still. Okay. So, back to what I was saying. That's not going to be used right now. Just put that over there. Yeah, that's kind of what I use. This is not this. I'm just putting this over here because it's going to go back up there. This is for my Sizzix. I had to buy a new one because the other one's cracking. This is almost like paper thin. It's so soft. I really like that one. It's pretty cool. But these kind of things you use to make samples. See, this is a container. There's the logo right there, or not the logo, but the recycling logo. But yeah, this was probably something like that maybe. I don't know. Anyways, this one's real thick. See, it's like this one here. It's like this one, but thicker. And you just keep any of that stuff. Like this one has, you can see little bumps. Little bumps right there. Little grids, I call it. That's still usable. I still reuse that stuff. I'm a recycle, reuse kind of person. This thing is filled with little pieces that I can use whenever I'm doing my journals. I'm actually going to put this down in there. Now that I've got this out. Will that fit in there? No, we're going to keep that one out. Of there. We're going to put this back up. I just wanted to give you an understanding of what acetate that I've learned that I think is acetate, and that is, this is acetate. This is what I called it a while ago. Back up there in between. Oh yeah, and those masks, the shields, you can repurpose those if you have those around the house. You'll find that there's holes in this because I was trying to see if I could get little round circles out of it and make it into like confetti for my shaker page. Of course, shaker pages to me is just my idea that, you know, I'm not saying it's going to work, you know, because it's not going to be a shaker per se. It's just going to be something clear and it's going to have some loose moving stuff. It's just kind of like a snow globe kind of a experience with it. That's what I'm trying to accomplish here. Because again, this is my journal I'm working on and I love snow globes. And I've got to have something that's not wet. Because if I put water or oil in between, it's going to tear up the vellum. The vellum is not going to be able to handle it. If I use acetate and try and find a way to merge the two and, what do they call that, make them not be able to leak kind of thing, you know. That's not going to be possible because I don't have that kind of equipment here to do that. But yeah. Now this is just a ribbon of some kind that was, I don't know, at the resale store, and I seen it and I grabbed it. And the lady just shoved it in my bag. Because she was like, she just looked at me, she's like, it's okay, I'm not going to ask like that. That's her. I was like, oh no, it's okay, you can ask. And she goes, why do you want such, I mean, look at it, y'all. She goes, because I told her I found it on the floor. I was like, I don't know. There's no ribbon back there. There's no spool or anything. So I don't know what it came from. And I told her, I was like, but it was on the floor getting destroyed and I can repurpose that. And she just looked at me and she goes, I'm not going to ask. She goes, and I told her, I was like, no, it's okay. You can ask if you want to. She goes, well, why do you want that piece that should be in the trash kind of thing? And I was like, good thing you asked that question. Any opportunity for a junk journal to talk about what she loves doing. It's junk. It's going to be thrown in the trash. That's why they're called junk journals. You want to repurpose the things that's pretty and put them in your journals if you can. But you don't always have to use the trash that's literally in your trash can. You just like repurpose the cardstock that maybe packaging. I forget what this had in it. It says wood clips. So still don't know. Yarn tassels. Okay, so this, I remember now, this had little tassels in it. And it went this way. And it was about that long. And the tassels came up over and they hung and dangled inside the packaging. And of course there was packaging over it. But that would have been thrown away. Sorry about the buzz sound. That's somebody going by. I seen it because of the dots, and I thought I could repurpose that. If I cut this here, I can make small little, these things here, what you see. The tags. What I do with that packaging? Just basically making those. That's what this is. See? And this was trash. I can repurpose this. Even though it looks like crap right now. I'm sorry I said crap, but it's true. Even though it looks really bad right now, I can turn around and cover this. Even with this. Put a whole bunch of glue on there. Place that on there and let it sit and dry. And once it's dry, sorry, it's going to be very, very loud outside. Once that's dry, I'll take something like either this and just rub down the side of it, and it'll tear the edges off enough that I can have a clean cut, as they call it. I'm trying to get that back in there. Or I can just cut the edges, turn it over and cut right on against the edges. Or I could cover it totally, like that. I just love the sound of this stuff. I'm sorry. Some people don't like that sound. Anyways, that's just what I repurpose stuff like this for. But you can also cut little pieces off like I did with the other shaker on the other side of that that page. You just cut the edges off and make yourself some little long pieces that can sit inside between the two films of paper. Which is what I'll be doing with this piece here. Because I like that effect. I do need to get my 2 containers that have butterflies in them down. It will go in between, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be right here in this. Right here, where this is. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because this was going to keep that stuff in there, but it was getting annoying. Because it was too powdery. So if you do happen to use anything as your shaker stuff, what in the world did I do? I smashed it, that's why. Anyways, I already know which page it's going to be. I'm going to put that over there. But if you're going to use your, if you're going to make a shaker as well, I want to see something. Do I want, because I've got to do something with this paper. That's the reason why I wanted to use this one. Wait, there's already a piece in there. So what? Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. No wonder. It's the wrong one. Well, I want to see something. I want to see if this one would be cuter. Because you could see the flowers behind it. I'm trying to make a shaker page. And if you don't know what that is, that's what I'm fixing to make, and you'll learn. But do I want that? Or do I want to go with the floral? See, this one had a floral. And I'm trying to keep my papers with the same color tones as on my journal. See, they got pretty colors. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and grab another one of those. Oops, fell to the ground. Okay. Now I'm trying to find that one. I have tons. I should show y'all. Just do a little quick walk over here. Let you see all the different papers I have. I know you can't hear me very well. Oh, where is it? Okay. This paper, as you can see, is a Dollar Tree brand. You don't have to use Dollar Tree. If you got the money, you go for it. I don't. So I want to keep that coloration going. Now, you don't have to make a shaker with 2 pieces of vellum. I'm going to do that, but you don't have to. All you have to do is make sure that this, put that over there for just now because I will need that. I'm going to take my coat off. I just realized my sleeves are in the way. But you will make sure that it is aligned right like that. And then I would cut here and cut here. I would only cut it to the size of the white portion of the paper there. That way this is delicate and it's soft. It is a soft paper and it won't be toned down from my coloration of my journal because these colors are in that journal. But anyways, you could do that and you could either sew it. If you're going to do a shaker though, see, that's the point though. To make a shaker is you need to have 2 pieces of paper, so that's why I'm using the vellum. Because if you put this to this, you're basically making a pocket. Because when I'm done making my shaker, the shaker gets glued, or I don't know, did I glue that one? Yeah, I glued that one to the paper. You could sew it if you want to. This is fragile paper for me because it's real, it's cheap paper. It's from Dollar Tree. And it's soft. I like it because it's soft mostly. And being it's soft and real thin, this, when it gets put on here, it thickens it, if that makes sense. But, yeah. Now, am I going to sew this again? No. I'm sorry, I'm not going through that process again. I'll just glue this stuff together. But I'm going to make my, now I got to make sure I do it the right size first. So, I'm going to measure these on here like that. Hold that down with my hand. And then just mark where I need to mark. I don't like putting my other mark on the same side as the other one, because when you cut that off, if you put one here, you're cutting your mark off. So I like to do it on this side. That way my mark is still there. Put that up there. Again, I'm sorry about the sounds. I know you're probably going, you quit apologizing. It's something I can't control. Let's put it that way. There we go. And I don't have a mic that does that kind of stuff. I used to have a mic, but it's not the kind that these new the YouTubers use nowadays. That's more savvy to use. Again, save these. I wanted to do a mass make with y'all and show you how to make something that I've done before. It's not me. It's not my idea either. But it is a beautiful, beautiful way to repurpose your vellum. You can colorize it. You can make it into tuck spots. You can do a lot of stuff with vellum, but you can also make these little pieces. Like this one here is shorter than the rest. It can be used on the edge of a paper, on a book page. Or you can cut it in half because there's 2 big pieces there. These are an idea that I did. They're something I found at the resale store, and they were this color, this purple, which is not a bad color. It's just, it was glitter. And something about me is I really don't like glitter too much. I love these stickles because it holds the glitter in one place. But to have a glitter that's loose and can get all over you, I just I don't. And I'm an artist too, and I love getting all gooey ooey, in the craft room. But glitter is my pet peeve. Anyways, with these, you could cut that. You can see, as you can see, I use things like, these are labels that you get. This one is a digital I bought on Etsy from Tracy Fox, I do believe. This is just something I created with stamps on a paper, and these are just doilies that have that metallic look to them. I had gotten them from the resale store, so I don't know where they exactly come from. This is a piece of the 12 by 12 of something that I probably never ever used, so I just cut it in little pieces and used it on here as a background piece. There's another one right there. But you can watch the YouTube video of me recreating these, basically. Not recreating them, but I'm trying to think of the word. Making them look different. So basically, like I said, they're that color, and I took black, what's it called? Gesso. Or you can just use any kind of flat, they call it flat paint, which has no gloss to it. And you can use acrylic, it'll do the same thing. And all I did was paint. I had them all put out onto a piece of, I think it was contact paper. And I would just sit there and paint them, paint over the glitter. I was trying to make them solid black. And I got this cool effect instead, which you can barely see some of the glitter still trying to come through the black, which made it look really, really cool, which I really liked. I was like, okay, I can handle that because it's not obtrusive. That's the word I would say that, glitter is. It's obtrusive. But I'm going to turn it over. This is the vellum. See, I'm talking about a totally different, this is my brain. Sorry, y'all. All I did was repurpose the strips of vellum when I would cut up my vellum papers for my other journals that I've sold. And all you do is, this is from another YouTuber that I watched. I'm not sure if she came up with the idea, so I'm not going to give that name out. All I know is that I do have a YouTube channel, and I also have the video that you can watch too. Because if I'm not mistaken, the woman that I got the idea from, she referred to another person as well. She was talking about, oh, I got this idea from someone else, and I just wanted to share this. She did a mask make as well. I've already done my mask make, but just to sit on camera with you while I'm doing it, and we can jibber jabber or whatever, kind of thing. Unfortunately, I can't see anything anybody's saying, so if you're messaging, I'm sorry. My camera phone, the face where I can see it is upwards, and I can't see it. My camera is pointing downwards. And I've been thinking about bringing in my laptop, but I'm scared to get it messed up. It is my artist laptop that I use that can fold backwards. It's very expensive. It was something my husband bought for me because it was something I've always wanted for a long time. And he finally bought it for me in 2020, and I'm babying it. But anyways, I'm scared to bring it in here amongst glues and paints and, things that can go flying and hit the screen or what have you. But anyways, with this, all I did was take the edge of, I'm not sure, it looks like a type of, maybe, kind of like the edge of one of these, that has the lines on it. And it looks like I just dipped it in the ink and then touched the paper in different places. That's what it looks like. I'm not sure. I do have a stamp that has a measuring tape on it, and I'm wondering if that's what that is. It probably is, but it could also be just the edge of a stamp, a rubber stamp. It can be anything. But you can use, if you don't have that idea in your head that you like that, there's other ones, like see the background, you'll see also some script. I have a script rubber stamp. You can just dab it here and there, and it'll give that effect. And this one here has a little bit of that effect. You have that script stamp right there. And then, of course, my little Swirly Q stamp. It's a little bitty stamp, but that big. I've repurposed it. And here's all the other ones. I'll turn them over. This one is this one, as you can see. Yeah. And this one just has the script stamp and a line kind. This one, right? Similar to this. These are line ones that you can buy. This is a silicone. I got it from the resale store. And I just tapped it here and there, made like hashtag looks to it, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that one's that. And here it is again. And I made it too prominent, and when I redid it, I just barely touched. I like the barely touched, you know, where this one's thicker and more prominent. And you can see a little bit here and there. You just want to dust it with stuff. I kind of went overboard with that, and that's why it looks just that. But you can dust it with the script look, and you can even go with different colors of stamps, you know, the ink, I mean. And it still has the brown script in the background. Here's that one again. It's not the same one, it's just the same stamp. And then you can use, on them, you can use all kinds of things. You can use stickers, you can use papers that have little pictures on them. You can use your vintage dictionary pages. You can use your music paper. Of course, use some kind of label of some kind. It doesn't have to be from one creator, but you can venture out and find other kinds. This is just Tracy. I just had it a while ago. My brain just went, Tracy Fox. So you can look her up on Etsy. She sells them as a digital. And then you can see I even have my own digitals in there. And this is that script writing. This is paper, just some orangey yellow kind of paper, like the envelopes, the big envelopes. Kind of like, I think that's what that is. Another piece of that 12 by 12 kind of paper. And this is probably some, it looks like that thin paper that I have for making origami with that I have. But yeah. Just let your brain go crazy and have fun. And I just love doing these. I even take stickles and outline things that's on the picture. And what you do is you can make it the length of your pages in your journals. Okay, I'm just going to take this out. This is my journal, like I said, that I'm working on. It's not been sewed in, but you see how you do the lace here? You can do the same thing with this stuff. You can put it right on the edge. It'll make it longer, so if you don't want it too long, or if you just want to turn it into a pocket, you go right against the corner of the page, go down it, cut off what you want. I always try to bring it to where things are leveled out. That way it still shows the flower and it doesn't cut up my butterfly. And I would have cut it right there. And then that becomes a tuck. You can tuck things underneath there. And sometimes if you turn your vellum this way instead of this way, you can make the items face upwards like this. And then you can turn it into a pocket. And there's just so many things you can do with stuff like this and make your own stuff, your own items. Like I said, go shopping. I've said this many, many times. Go shopping in your own craft room. And you'll save a lot more money than to go out and buy stuff. You can recreate things. I guarantee you somebody out there is going to love your idea. Make a little clip of a video. If you feel very embarrassed to get online and let people hear you or see you, you can make your video with a little bit of low sounding music. Use just text of some kind and put it at the top or the bottom. Or just make up what they call a pop-up thing. Saying and being like a tutorial for the person to, for everyone to watch. And that's how you make content for people to learn from, like with this stuff. But yeah, I want to make a whole bunch more of those because I have a whole bunch of these from even doing this. And I need to repurpose them. Okay, did I cut the other side? Yes, I did. I do believe I did. There. I know, that was a mouthful of stuff I just said, right? Okay. Now this is cut down to what I need it to be. And it will fit right in that slot and you won't even see it. So that's what I want. But I'm going to glue this together, let it sit, because it takes a while for these pockets, the vellum, there's no air to get in there, so it can't cure, because I call it curing, because Fabri-Tac and Fabri-Fix is a silicone type glue. It's not drying, it is actually curing. What dries is wet glue. So, if you hear me say cure, that's what I mean. It's not me just being mean or being, you know, self-righteous or something like that. I'm just saying. Because I have been a crafter pretty much all my life, so that's why I say things that's not like what everybody else says. Now, when I do this, I'm using this kind, and the reason why is because this is vellum. If you use wet glues on vellum, it just ripples, and it just, I don't know, it turns it into a mushy, mushy mess. So, I'm cleaning off my tip so it'll come out better. I just got to keep rubbing my fingers together until it comes off my fingers. I came out here one day, and I went into the kitchen. I'd already scrubbed my hands, but I guess I didn't scrub here because I was working around this glue. And I was using my hand last time I was in here to hold down certain spots, and the glue was oozing out. This is funny, I'm sorry. But I was in the kitchen, and I was cooking and cutting up things. You know, my husband comes up beside me, and I was using my hands. I was like, hand me that. And he grabbed my hand and he looks at my hand. He goes, what's wrong with your hand? And it was peeling. He goes, did you burn yourself? And I'm like, no. And I looked and I was like, and I just started laughing so hard. He's like, what's funny? What's so funny? And I turned around, I was like, oh, nothing. And then I just started, before that oozes out, what I did is I ended up doing this and started peeling it. And then he's like, oh, you use glue on your hands, huh? And I was like, yeah, but it's not the wet glue like you're used to. Because, you know, when you was a kid, Elmer's glue kind of thing. Well, this does even the same thing, but it's strange. Now, if you're just getting into junk journaling or this kind of craft, I'm going to forewarn you, this stuff has a strong, potent smell. If you hate fingernail polish remover or even fingernail polish, the smell, then you're not going to like this stuff because that's what it smells like. I'm okay with it. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I craved the smell of gasoline. I know, sounds retarded, but it's true. I did. I know you're probably going, yeah, that makes sense. I'll put this over here out of my way. Anyways. But yeah. Oh, wait, do I need to put something underneath here? I probably should. Just so it doesn't get on. Because this can, like, take this color off your mats too. I can't afford those glass mats. I wish I could. But to me, it seems like they glare too much. I'm barely touching it, so it's not getting it everywhere. So I'm going to go back over the spots that it missed. And it doesn't want to. Now, I'm just going to barely squeeze. Anyways, I can't afford those mats. They're cool. I love them. I'm not putting them down. They are a cool thing to use, but they're expensive. I already looked them up. My husband was asking me, he's like, because every time we went to the store, I'd turn around and be like, having to buy one of these things again, because they get worn out real quick. With me, anyway. I thought I heard somebody at the front door just then, but I think it was my neighbor getting in his truck. Anyways, I'm trying to keep this close to the edge, as close as I possibly can, because I'm not going to sew this time. See, I didn't want it to be that thick right there. Darn it. Oh well. But buying these mats over and over again is kind of pricey, you know, when you have to buy them continuously. So in the long run, the glass mats would be a cool idea. But a first time buy, you know, it's not easy to buy when you don't have that extra cash coming in. So, okay, now I'm just going to lay that on top of that one. Hopefully it's still wet enough that it'll grab it enough and hold. Got to get it just right. There go. I just tap. And then I'm just going to take this inside outwards. Remember that, inside outwards. Because if you go this way and just go down it, it's going to smash that down, which is going to push it inwards. I'm not worried about it now. I can take my time because it's in between. It's sandwiched in between the vellum. And the vellum does not allow it to dry too quick. That's why I said I'm going to let this sit on its own. And maybe we'll do some of the mask make. My videos, these I make, is just for me. This channel is pretty much just for me now. I just do my own thing. If somebody complains about me complaining about my nails or saying something that's repetitive, I don't let it get to me no more, because this is a channel that's for me mostly. And I'm just sharing in the projects that I'm working on. Because it feels like somebody's with me and hanging out kind of thing. And yeah, gives you someone to hang out with while you're doing your projects. Even though I'm not able to talk to you because my phone. But yeah. Okay. I'm just wiping off any excess. I'm not pressing. Just like right there, some sticking out. Because if I squeeze, it slabs will make that. See how thick it is already? If you press on that, it'll push it inwards and it'll get thicker. Let's see if I can put it right here. Right here, it's thicker. See? Over here, see how thin it is? Because I didn't push inwards. This is where I messed up. I was like, oh, that's that spot. Sorry if my nails look messy. And to the person that said what she did about she doesn't care about my nails, just get to the point. I don't have to. It's my channel. If I want to talk about my nails, I'll talk about my nails all day long. Okay. So there's that. That's done. This is now going to be put on here. Now, once this is dry, I'm not going to do it right now, but once this is dry, so you can see where I got a little bit of what looks like, I don't know what that is, but it looks like that stuff. I couldn't even get it out. Anyways, it's a little bit of this that I had cut up the last time in little strips, and there just happened to be one right here somehow, some way. But anyways, once this is dry though, I will go back over, or I can do it right now. No biggie. No, I can't. I gotta wait till it dries. To situate this onto this paper, if you want to sew it, you can, is what I'm saying. I don't really want to, but I kind of might have to. I see a little bit of that glue right there. Is the other side pretty? Oh, there's some right there. That one I can get off. See? I love these little eraser things. It just takes it right off. Okay. And that becomes a sleeve, basically. See, it's open and it's closed up on the sides only. I didn't make it through the middle because that's going to get sewn in. I'm not worried about it. Last time I did, but I'm not going to worry about it this time. I'm just going to let the sewing the signature in be the closure there. It's going to be bent. I don't think that it's going to become flat enough or open enough for this side to get to this side. So, just saying. Yeah. And I have a couple of things that I can use as my shaker stuff, like I said in the last one. Where they're at, I don't know. Where did I put those? I had sequences. You can put sequins inside these. You can use anything. Don't make it too bulky, because if you do, you're going to have to deal with it being bulky on the next page. So if you use anything, just make sure it's flat enough, and make sure that you have some kind of plastic, we call them writing pads kind of thing, I guess, or I don't know what they're called, but they go behind your page that you're working on. Like, say you want to write on this page in your journal, and the page before it, or after it, I guess, yeah, after it, has a whole bunch of beads on it somehow, or a raised surface, like this stuff, for instance. Say this is on the page behind it, and it's got bumpities to it. I'm calling it weird names. But it's got bumpities. And it's on that back sheet back here. And you go to write in your journal. You're going to have that impression, and it's your pen or your pencil is going to be bumping. But that's what these things here are for. You put that over top of that other page, and your surface becomes smooth. It might bow over, but it's still smooth enough that when you're writing, it'll be pretty. It won't be bumpity. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's why we use things like this. You can make them. Some of the ladies will actually use card stock and put pretty things on it. And the other side will stay with nothing on it, so that you'll have it decorated. And then when you flip it over, it'll be flat on the other side, so that you can put that underneath and then write. And have that solid, smooth surface. But that's why we keep those. I don't use those ones for my crafts. These two are for me to put into journals that I make. These here are the ones that I find on just books that I see at the resale store, in the kids area. This one, it had stencils, and I thought, well, I can repurpose those stencils. And if I'm not mistaken, one of these, it was either this one, because this is just this piece. They came together. No, they didn't. My bad. They were separate, that's right. So they were little bitty flip books. And I bought them because they had these stencils in them. As you see, they have these little stencils. And then I came across this big book, and it had stencils in it. But it had these full-piece pictures, where you can decorate the room. Where this one was pictures like this that were blank, and then you can go in and color them, and then you can add all these accessories on the girls. And on this one, it was also the room situation. It was, you turn it sideways and it was a room. As you can see here, it's just a plain room, and you decorate it with these. But yeah, and these are plastic. You can get the same effect from the folders that you buy for school. This one is a little thinner, as you can see, but this one's thicker. Try and look and see if you can find the thicker ones. Sometimes the spiral notebooks come with them. That's how I got these. It was a pricey one. This one was. But yeah, you can repurpose the file folders for your projects to keep your area clean. That's what I use these things for, is so that happens. But if you want to get hard surface things like these, like I said, these came from Spirals. They were at Walmart on the in that discount aisle, the clearance aisle they call it, and it was down at the bottom. I don't see how that was clearance, if you want to know my. I'm just saying, because the spiral, this came from one spiral. The back side and the front side, they're like that thick, because that's the front cover. And then there was one on the back, the same. And it was solid square. And when I seen it, I was like, I can repurpose that, put that to use. In the spiral, I don't need that on the outside of the spiral, and I can repurpose these for my journals. So the spiral I'll use for, like, my gaming. Yes, I'm a gamer. I'm sorry. If that, like, shocks you or something, maybe. It should. I know that. But anyway, I'm a gamer. I can beat just about any game. I actually made my kid into one of my kids anyway. My son, he became into gaming, and it was a little bit of both. It was me. I got him into it through a game called Fallout. And he got addicted to gaming from that. I call it addicted. But yeah, for me, I've been gaming since I was a kid. The first Atari that came out, I had one of them. I had one of the first computers, the home computers that came out. Well, sort of. When they were the big industrial looking ones, the ones that's real good. I got one of those. It was an Apple, and it was $98 for just the computer. And my dad bought all the other stuff that went with it. And that made me a computer nerd. In a way, I don't know much about computers, but I know a lot about gaming, and I love gaming. But anyways, that's totally getting off. Sorry. Um, but yeah, I don't even know why I even brought that up. But yeah, with this, oh, I know what it was. It was because of the notebook. Because the notebook itself I repurposed for my gaming needs. I use it to write down certain things for characters that I have, so I'll know which character, because I have two game units now. My husband, he has a PS4 that he used to have. I mean, he even still has his old PS3 and some of the other ones like the PS2 and anyways. But he bought me a PS5, and because he already had a PS5, and he ended up buying me one so that we could game together. And so that's what we do. And I enjoy it. Like, was it last night? Yeah, last night we played a game together. And the way I am, I have OCD, so I have to do things a little redundantly. Where, like, to him, that's going overboard. He just plays the game. For me, I've got to write everything down. And for me, I have a spiral for me, each one of my characters, in a certain game. I write down what that character stashes away in their inventory so I know where to find it. That's why I keep the spirals in, for that reason. But I also draw on them too. I also draw on them because I'm an artist and I love drawing. I love doing my sketches. I kind of got this just a tad longer than I wanted it, but I'm not cutting that off. If I have to, I'll just level it off, or it looks just fine like it is. But what I'm going to do is probably sew where I glued. I got to sew it to the paper. And the reason why I glued it is because I needed to make sure it was sealed. And I just thought about something. Oh, that's why. Okay. So I can't put this on there until I have it done. So I'm not ready to sew this on there. But I'm kind of scared to mess with this yet because that is probably still uncured. It's still moist, or whatever you want to call it. It's still pliable. It can still pull apart, in other words. So, yeah. And in order for me to make a shaker, I need to kind of give it a lift. And when I open this up, it might pull those edges apart. Yeah. But anyways, what I need to do, though, is I need to seal one of the sides first. Like, I'm thinking about sealing this side. See, last time I talked to y'all, I went ahead and sewed in the middle. And this time I'm not going to sew it in the middle. I'm just going to leave it open because the book will do it on its own. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to seal this side up, use this side to drop my shaker stuff in. Then maybe tap it here with a little bit of glue if I can get... I don't even think I want to try that. Once I get my stuff in this side, then I will fold it over, seal it down, and then fill up this side, and then seal it. And then this will be ready to be put onto that paper by sewing it here and here. Leaving this open because I want to make these into pockets on that page. Does that make sense? Did I go overboard? I did. I know I did. Oh well, that's me. Love me or hate me, I don't care. But that's what's going to happen. Okay, so now I need to find my shaker stuff. Now, I'm probably going to do a little bit different than I did last time. The last time, like I said, I did this, which I don't like because of the powdery stuff, but it is an incense, and I wanted my journal to smell good. It smells like jasmine, and I thought that would smell really good in the journal. This is what I'm talking about. It's already sewed down and everything, but see, there's the pocket that I was referring to that it will have. Here's the other side. I'm going to turn this over. That dust is going to get places if I move it too much. This is also a pocket, but notice it's much more thinner. It's not as bulky, and it's not ripply, where this is. You can see how it sits up. When I try to do that, you can see how it's rippling the paper there. But yeah, I don't really care for that. I really don't. And then it stops right there. It shows me where I glued. And I don't want that to be seen. So, and it makes it look dirty because it gets down there where that glue was. Because now it's cured. It's done. It's done its thing, and it's no longer soft and pliable where it'll pop open. And that's why it doesn't look as prominent as this one does. This edging, as you can see. But you can see where I sealed it here on the edge too. After I filled it, then I sealed it. And then you can see how I actually sewed it. I sewed it here and here, and then through the center. Because that's the signature, that's where it'll be sewn into the journal. But I kind of want to do this instead of this time. If I do this kind of thing, I'm not using that powder stuff. I don't mind using these in there. They're actually kind of pretty. I don't mind using these kind of things. But the big one, no, it's too, I don't know, it's too stiff, I guess. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. But anyways, I'd rather use the butterflies because these are flowers and it's prettier. It's prettier. That's why. So yeah, this stuff, I don't know what I'm going to do. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. So, okay. So I need to get my butterflies down. Oh, man, I am so sorry, y'all. Let's see if I can reach them. Oh, there's my butterflies. Let's see, what else do I have? Sorry about the sounds. Again, can't help them. No, not that. Trying to find things. Just looking around. Do I see anything? How about these? No. There they are. I was looking for these. Okay, so there's those. I don't know if they're in this. I think they are. The big flowers that's in the other one. Let's take a look. Yeah, they're in here. These things here, we have the little beady ones. Okay, we have tiny. Itty bitty tiny one. Hang on, let me get rid of that piece. Okay, we have the itty bitty tiny. Then we have this one. But they don't have beads on them. This one has a bead on it. And it's bigger. It has that half bead on it. That is what's going to stick up and it's going to make it bulky. That's the part that I messed up and I put it in upside down by accident. I want it upright if I'm going to use it. I like it because it's pretty. I don't want to use it, but I don't have a choice if I want it to stay pretty. And it needs a little bit of raising inside the pocket. So the little bit of raising from these sticking up will help it to move this stuff around inside the thing. These are actually, there's brads in here that go with these. These are little tiny brads. Look how little they are. They go in the center of these. You use the middle, this one goes in the center, if I can get it to do right. It goes in the center, and then this one goes in the middle of that little hole there. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let them move around in the package. So, and I'm going to change the colors. I don't think I want them just solid white. Here's one that doesn't have the bead. It has like a little piece of pointy stuff. I don't want to use that because that will point and poke my vellum. But it is cute. But I'm not about to use that. Because then all the work I did would be for nothing. Let's see. Where's those? There's one. What the little bitty ones too. Be one more little bitty one that's pretty. That one's good. And one more, the big one that has the bead. Now, if you can't find these, you can find them, believe it or not, in the packaging, the stickers that you can get from the Dollar Tree. It has the sticker on the back. If you don't want it to stick, then kind of like if you can pull off the sticker off the back, then you would be able to do, if you can use it that way. If not, take a piece of paper, like a hole punch, just hole punch something out, and where that little bit of daub of, they call them, what do they call them? Little something other glue. And just put it on top of that glue sticker kind of thing that's on the back, because that's what those are up there at the Dollar Tree. But it looks just like these. No different. So, okay, there's that. Put that up there. Now, I want to go with, I don't have another maroon. The maroon was the only one I found with that one. Sorry, I keep hiccuping. Oh, there's a pretty maroon one, but it's not the same color maroon as the journal, but that's okay. That is okay. Definitely want to use the vellum ones again. I thought those were real cute. This is another favorite color to me. I love hot pink. See, these are pretty. It's just prints that, you know, it's on paper that I didn't want to waste, or a packaging, like this was packaging. You can see the wrinkles from it, and I didn't want it to go to waste. Oh, here you go. That's what it looks like. I didn't want that to go to waste, so I used my hole puncher and made a whole bunch of these out of it so that they wouldn't go to waste. I'm very frugal with my money. I have to be, because, yeah, I don't make money off of what I do. I don't know how the other ladies do it. I used to. I was making money off of it, but it was only like 3 people buying from me, because I'm not a big YouTuber, you know. That's okay. Not a big deal. Oh, I'm holding on to that. I'm trying to find another couple of those. There's one. Because that'll be on one side, and then I got to think about the other side, because I'm going to make the same thing on both sides. You can change it up if you want to. Like that one's pretty. There's 2 there. This was a, there's sticky stuff on that one, so I may not be able to use that one. This one's cool. This was a vintage paper, and I didn't want to waste it, so I used my hole puncher, and I made a whole bunch of pieces from it. Yeah, I could put that in there. Yeah. Use that for different. If you hear a rumbling of bum 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 bum, it's school. Kids are catching the bus, and my house is the closest to the main road. There's a guy that stands right here beside my trailer, right where my room is here, so if he hears me, he hears me. But anyways, he has the area, because this is my area, you know, everybody has their area for their yard, you know, considered their yard. And he stands there and he smokes cigarettes, and he throws them down on the ground, and he walks back and forth. It's not a big deal. If he wants to do that, I don't really care. This is the side that don't grow anything because of a big tree above. But he leaves these butts around, and I don't really care for that. Pick up your mess, you know. So there's 2. Okay, we're gonna put those 2, that one over there. I want to pick which side's going to go up. I like that one. Nope, I like that one. Put that one over there. Okay, I like that side and that side. Okay, so we have vellum, 2 and 2, and I need to find another one of those. Don't have one, I have red. There was one. Found one. Okay, so we're good to go. I just want to add these on there too. So where do I need to put this? Or can't I put this, I should say. Just put it over there. This is the problem. But I always clean up after myself. Oh, I found my sequences. You can use sequence in it. I'm not going to, because when you put the sequence in it, it dulls the sequence. They're not glittery like that. So I don't want to do that unless they're going to be glittery, where I can see them. And the shaker aspect, they don't want to shake around either, because they're like magnetizing to it. I do have, that's too pink though, but I have tons and tons and tons of jewelry that I used to buy in jars. And a friend from California, she sent me a box of jewelry that was in broken pieces. Uh, I don't know if I inspired her and that's why she bought it. I don't know. Maybe they just decided to buy it for a craft for her daughter. I don't know. But anyway, she sent me the pieces and I took them apart and repurposed them. But I have tons and tons of jewelry that I did that's in great shape. And even some of the pieces that she sent me, I fixed them. I fixed them instead of repurposing them, you know, and I put them in Ziploc bags, and I have tons and tons of jewelry that I'll probably never use. But yeah, and that's why I make the journals I do. I hang them from the journal. When they match up with the journal, it goes on the spine. Just like with the Cardinal journal, I put a beautiful red, almost like a choker necklace on the spine. And it looks real pretty. And here's some, like, see, this is a pair of earrings. They match really well with the rose journal that I have. It's still for sale if you'd like to buy it. I just took it all down, so it's not going to get sold unless I put it back up, but unfortunately I don't want to because I get charged from Etsy. So if you would like to buy them, you got to contact me on that. This one I'm keeping because it has the hearts on it. I'm going to take it apart. I want just the hearts, and I'm going to put them on a little dangle for my journal because I love hearts. I love smiley faces. I love, what other creature that would, or symbol. I love hearts and smiley faces, mostly. So, yeah. I found these because I'm gonna take them apart, this one, and use each one of these when I'm doing my dyeing my paper, and it'll give a different, like, look to the paper. You can probably put chain on there, because what happens is when you're making your stained paper with whatever item it is, it doesn't matter if it's coffee, if it's Kool-Aid, if it's a natural alternative like beet juice or what's it called? They use it in curry. Oh, what's it called? Turmeric. If you use turmeric, you know, any kind of thing, the water, the liquid part, pools under the solid whatever it is it's laying on that paper. So what happens is it pulls it to it, and then as it dries, it's thicker and darker, more permanent, where it's solid. Like where all these pieces are solid, it'll be thick in those parts, and then where you see the dots and you can't see any, you know, like it's like an opening, that'll be open. It'll be just like you're putting this down, but with whatever you're using in color instead. It's pretty cool. Even with the chains, you know, if you lay a chain down, it might even give that pretty cool look to it. I've done it. I like it the way it looks. So am I sharing an idea? Yeah, unfortunately for myself. Somebody's going to run with it and go back to one of these other ladies' YouTube, or not YouTube, their Facebook pages, being like, oh, I got this idea. Let me tell you about it. That's okay. Go ahead and share my ideas and take them for your own. To me. And I'm just a little bit bitter about it still, so. But I'll let it go. I'll let it go. So if you're watching, you know who you are. I can't grab those. I'm trying to grab them. Come here. Aw, it all fell off. Okay, fine. I got a mess over here I need to clean up anyways. All these ladies are doing the organizing thing. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I have everything where I want it, and when you do organizing, you tend to throw away stuff. I don't care. If I'm not using it, I'm going to use it sometime or another because I can't afford it again to buy it later on when I don't have the money. You know, if I have it now, I'm going to keep it. If I have to put it away in a crate and then go back in my crate, open it up with a little basket and say, "Ooh, I'm going shopping." Yep, I'll do it. And I live in a trailer, so I don't have a lot of room to stash stuff. But if you have crates, you have plenty of room. You can crate up all the way to the ceiling, and then put on your crate, okay, this is the craft room stuff that I can go shopping in. You know, that's how I do it. Hey, it's fun. All this stuff somehow came out of something. And this shouldn't even be over there. Why is this over there? This is me. That's probably from my journal, and I put it up there. I'll just put it up there. Okay, so this stuff, this came off one of my little statues of a dragon. And I think I got rid of that dragon. I don't have it anymore. If I do, I can't remember. Just in case, though, see, this is the problem with being a what they call pack rat. I'm a pack rat. Pack rats, they repurpose what they have. They don't just let it sit. At least I don't. There's hoarders and there's pack rats. I am not a hoarder. I'm a pack rat. You can still get through my house, and just fine. I mean, there's nothing in your way to walk through. And I'm an obese woman, so there is that. But anyways, I can get to whatever I need to. I know where it's at, and I repurpose everything I have. I will find it. If it takes time, then so be it. Okay, that goes up there. This goes over there. This goes back up here until I can get around to it. This goes over there. And this is what I had my, this paper here, this acetate. I'm going to cut it up in little pieces, put it back in here until I'm ready for it. It will go inside of the shaker. I love that. I don't know. I like it. This is what it'll look like. Let's see. I like how that looks. Again, this is not a journal for sale. This is just for me, so you can make fun of me all you want. It's not for you. It's for me. Oh, guess what happened? I always say that, you know, when I was making the journal for the Redbird, I always said, man, it would be really cool to find a Redbird feather. And I kind of put up a, what do you call it, a bird feeder at my bedroom window so that I could watch the birds when they come to the window. And a lot of redbirds has been coming to the window. Now, no cats can get to them, so it's not because of that. Somehow, some way, I think, my husband thinks it was the female that got caught by a cat. And it's on this side of the trailer, and its carcass, and the feathers was everywhere. I was walking the dog, and I was coming through, and I seen what looked like an orangey colored feather, and I looked down, and I seen the beak, and I started crying. Because, I mean, I'm not a person that really cares about, like, they're not my favorite bird. They're my mom's favorite bird. But all animals is what I cry for. It don't matter what animal it is. I have a heart for all animals. But anyways, when I seen that, it just, like, it just broke my heart. I even told my husband, I was like, maybe we should take that bird feeder down, you know, because... And he was like, but it was on the other side, and it's way up high. The cats can't get to it. And I was like, yeah, but maybe they're getting more relaxed over there, thinking that they can go on the ground and pick up the seeds that fall. And maybe she got caught, and it ran around to that side, and it, you know, finished it off or something. I don't know. But I feel kind of weird about keeping that up there, you know. I really do. Give me your thoughts on that. Should I not feel that way? I mean, is this something I should come to terms with and be okay with? I mean, it just, is it possible that the female did go to the ground, even though every time I see them in that tree, it's like a real tall tree that's right near the window. They get in the tree, they look around like everywhere before they'll get near the bird feeder. And she is so skittish. All of them, all the females are the most skittish of all the birds, is the redbird and is the female bird. And it's like he comes in, he checks out the place, and then he chirps a couple of times, and then she'll show up. And this happens with the 3 different ones. We have one that's so beautiful. He is so, without the sun shining on him, he's like the most fluorescent red I've ever seen. So pretty. My husband, he told me, he's like, you gotta see this, gotta see this. And I was like, what? And I looked at it. I was shocked. I've never seen a redbird so brilliant red as that one. All the other ones, they have more of a rusty red, if that makes sense. Where this one is like so pretty. It's like the sun is shining on it when the sun ain't shining on it, you know? It's so pretty. But anyways, we were worried definitely that it was that one's mate, you know, or that one. I actually thought it was a red bird. Because you can tell their beaks. Their beaks are not like any other bird. They're an orange color with a little bit of speckle of red in them. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But I went back over there. I was going to find it and bury it. I put on some gloves. And I'd already picked up I know this sounds gross, but I picked up all the feathers. Because I was like, I'm not going to let them, its life go to waste. You know, so I picked up all the feathers, and I thought I could repurpose those feathers into something like an art piece or something to be like a memorial to it. I know it sounds retarded, or redundant. I don't mean to say retarded because I heard that that's a very rude term. Sorry. But anyways, I picked up all the pieces and of the not of the carcass, but of the feathers that were flying around. The small down feathers were not the same color as red, you know, it was just white. So I let them fly around, you know, and birds can use those in their nest too, believe it or not, they will. But anyways, I did pick up the feathers, but the beak and the head and all that kind of stuff I left there, and then I brought in the stuff. I even what do you call it? Fumigated, whatever you want to call it, the feathers, so that just in case there's mites on it or any kind of diseases or anything, I wouldn't be bringing it into the house to my animals inside. So I kept it in my bathroom and I fumigated it. But I went back out there with gloves on hands and I was going to bury the rest of the body of it, and it was gone. So I'm guessing I interrupted the cat that got a hold of it or something. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, made me sad. Very, very sad. I don't know what to do with this. This is sticker paper. I love these things to use for my journal making. I know that was probably something you didn't want to hear, and it's like, okay, I'm leaving you, lady. So you probably left me. I'm probably all by myself. If you are watching, I mean, if anybody was watching, they were like, yeah, I don't really care to hear about that stuff, lady. Anyways, what did I do with the containers? I think it's up here somewhere. Yeah, this one. Here we go. I'm grabbing these because I'm organizing as well. This is what's going on my sister's journal, so that I know I put over there. And these buttons, these batteries, these I'm keeping them to the side. These are buttons, so those will go in something else, not this. These are stickers, like the raised stickers that you're supposed to use, but these are going to go in here. I do a little bit of cleaning here and there. That's a label, but I don't need that. I usually keep the labels for like this kind, the fabric labels though. That one is one of those other kinds. I keep those for if I ever make a sewing journal. I'd like to keep those for the sewing journal, make those the tabs on the sewing journal. But yeah. These feathers here I got from Dollar Tree. These are from a bead that I have somewhere. I forget where it is. That's probably why I don't have it no more. But these was down inside the bead. I don't know why. But yeah. Okay, so the rest of that, I'm going to close that up. This goes over here. I don't know where I put that. What did I do with it? I bet it's in here. See, I even keep the buttons, like these buttons, the labels that I use these buttons on items. So I keep these, the ones that are vintage. That one ain't one. That's a magnet, and I can glue on this side of the magnet. Anyways, these are those things that you buy the buttons on. These are vintage ones. And so I took all the buttons that were on them off so that I can take photocopies of each one of these, which I did. And if you would like to have one of those, that digital of mine, so that you can do the same thing, I'm going to print these out. You can repurpose the hole. This here, I only need one hole. I will have to figure out a way to fix that. And there is other fonts online that I can find if I have to, where I can fix that. But yeah, it just says buttons by, I think it says Amanda, if I'm not mistaken. Because I had another one and it was in worse shape, but this one was in better shape. And I want to leave all this kind of stuff on it. I just want to fix these holes. And yeah, maybe make the hole over here instead. Or not make a hole in it. And then just repurpose these as, you know, because all I needed was this part, you know, of this one. And I need this on there too. All I have to do is copy this piece here. They call it, what is it called? That's that glue. It gets stuck on me. Clone. You use clone and it clones this piece, and then you can just pick it up and put it right there. And it'll cover over that and it'll make it a solid piece. And the same thing up here. I'm just teaching you how to do what I do on my, and I don't buy the expensive app. I use GIMP. And I've been using it forever and a day. So, because I used to make little avatars and stuff. Like, see this kind of thing? You can repurpose this. After you take this off, you can repurpose this, put it in a journal, because it's cute, because it says fairy tale. You would just cover over this here and this with something else, or cut it off and make it into a tag, like that. And then you wouldn't see the price tag. And then in this spot here where this thing is, you would find something like, I don't know, a little, like another pendant that's tiny and flat. Like this is too bulky. This is mine. It's going to go on my spine jewelry. But I'm going to repurpose this little tag here. That's why I'm trying to keep it straight without bending, but it already got bent there. That's fine. But something flat like this can go on there and it won't stick up as bad, and it can go in a pocket. You know? Just ideas. Just little ideas. I'll put that up there before I forget it next time. Okay, now what was I looking for? Here's something I have. It says, friends are like angels. They lift you up. And it's just really cute. It's a necklace. And I put it in this. I was saving this to go on a prayer journal. See, here's all the tags I've been saving. All kinds. This is how you do it. You save all your little tags if you're going to make a sewing journal. These are all little tags. This one here just says AGACT. But you can tell you don't want to mess it up. You don't want to take those edges off. You want to leave it as is, because you can see that it's a tag. And then you'll just glue it on the edge of your page like that as a tag. It's a tag, and it will become a tag again. But yeah, and it becomes a tag for the side of your journal. Here's another one. It's got all this, like, what do you call it? Not calligraphy. What's it called? Roman numeral kind of thing. That looks really cool. And then we have 2 roses on each end. You can still see, and it's like scalloped here. But you can see how it was sewed on. And you can turn it over and see the other side. And then you just glue it to the page, just like that. But it just looks so cute. This has got a flower, and it says 21. Probably that Forever 21 something. And go on the edge. And you can tell it's a tag, especially when you turn them over. Here's one. It's Metro 7, and then it has the word 7 as well. Just a tag to go on the edge. Here is MKM Designs. I even like ones that has the size on it and made in. That will come off though, because I don't know, maybe it'll stick out better if I lay it down flat, because this is the way it's supposed to say. It says Faith 21. See, something like that would be cute in a faith journal, like a prayer journal. But you can see how it got cut right here. That's okay. But it could go on the edge of a page just like that. Say it is in a journal that's for sewing, you have the size too. And Arizona Jeans, kept that one. It could go there, but it's too long. It's like really long and bulky. It'll stick way out. That can just go in a pocket or something. This one, you can bring it in if you want to as well and sew it down. Like sew it right there if it's too long. Like with this one, you could bring it down here so it's just the right height, you know. Bring it up, bring it down, however you want. This one says Donuts with a Z Incorporated. That's a tag that was on a shirt. Old Navy, of course, and this is maternity, it said. And this one is Old Navy maternity. Can you tell I like my maternity clothes? Because I'm a big girl. I'm a big woman. But see? And that's two of them. I could repurpose that piece there. And that's why I keep the tags from any of the stuff I rip up, you know, that I'm repurposing, that I find at the resale store. But I'm going to tell you something. If you put on like Marketplace or any place like that, you can put on there, I'm looking for old stained up clothes. And in those stained up clothes, they're not going to be totally stained up. And you can get free material to use on your journals, in your journals. You can also, if you aren't too squeamish, you know, or too prideful, I call it being too prideful, being too all about, you know, oh, everybody's looking at me, I can't do that. My kids were really bad about that. I used to go trash digging. And what I do is I only would grab the stuff that, you know, was either in trash bags that had clothes in it, making sure there was nothing else inside the bag, just clothes, that it wasn't gross and wet and disgusting. And if it was, I can always wash it. There's a washing machine at home. So that's how I got a lot of my materials, is I would go trash digging, find bags that people threw up by the curb that had clothes in it. I found a beautiful vintage wedding dress that I repurposed lace from. I mean, I don't know if this was the one, but I have one that's big, like this. I don't think this is. I think this one I got at Hobby Lobby. But you can find stuff like lace, like this kind of lace on dresses that are by the curb even, that people don't want no more. I have my old wedding dress that when I was married to my first husband. I still have that. And I'm planning on taking it apart because I know my daughter ain't going to want to wear that. Because it's so old-fashioned. And I'm different than most people. As you can tell with my videos, I'm going to stick that up there. But I like the bell dress because I'm country. So I'm a little weird that way. And that's fine. Everybody has their taste, and that's mine. But anyways, it just is covered in all kinds of different, you know, like bubbly lace and pretty laces. And I'm probably going to take it apart and repurpose the lace on it. And the taffeta kind of stuff underneath, I think that's what it's called. No, what is it called? Tulle. The tulle that's underneath that keeps it sticking out when I don't have the bell under. That tulle that's underneath there. I can repurpose that, you know, just, yeah. Okay, now, I said all I need to say, so I don't know what I'm going to do with the buttons, per se. So, of course, Patty's going to put them right back where she just found them. Now, these, I'm going to put into another little Ziploc, because I have tons of Ziplocs from my jewelry making, not jewelry making, but the jewelry buying. I have small, medium, large. I used to have large. I think I went through all the large ones. I have these large. I have ones like that size. Ones like this size. I had one that was like half the size of this. It was like that one right there. Right there. For the big jewelry. Like this size. Like the size of this one. And then there's the little bitty ones. But I need one like this. I've showed the jars many times now. So I'm not doing that again. That would be time consuming. I guess I could have put that in a smaller Ziploc. But Just stick those in there. See, I even keep things like this. If I can get it out without messing it up. It's all wrapped around the edge here. These are from, as you can tell, spirals. But they can be used for other things. You don't have to just use them for spirals. But if I ever get the tool that can make spirals, I'll already have 2 pieces that I don't need to buy. And these already have, this is made out of plastic. But they already have the curve, that's the lock they call it, that locks them in. This one don't. This one's been cut because it's the only way I can get it off. But yeah, and I have this one. It's metal. This one's a metal one. But you can repurpose these in all kinds of ways. You can use them in art. You can use them in your journals, you know. I don't know how I'm going to get those back in there, so I'm going to probably put them over here in this one, because I think there's more room in this one. Oh, but they're not going to fit. That's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I'll just find another place for it. Where? I don't know. I'll just put it in a drawer over here. That's what I'll do. Whoa, I pulled that too hard and it's stuck. I see why. Okay. See, I have a whole bunch of these empty spent glue sticks. See, I can't even hardly get them open. See? And I repurpose them to make things like this. Those daubers. These are the other kind. And these are these kinds. And all those are is those things that you use on your floor to protect your floor from getting scratched. It keeps this plastic from going to the landfills. I'm going to reuse those when they run, you know, the thing gets worn out and everything. I'll just rip it off, put a new one on there. I'd rather throw away the, that fabric-y stuff that they use to make the daubers than the plastic. So. And I go through glue sticks like you ain't ever seen. So, yeah. Okay, now back to what I was doing. I was going to come in here, this is what I always say too. I was going to just come in here, turn on the camera, and be quiet. But I can't do that. My mouth won't let me. Here's some goodies. These are the pins I have. I'm going to be careful with. These are the kinds for upholstery. But they're good for your journal making too. I don't know why I'm sticking it in there. I should leave it over here. That one's empty. Those are my pins back there. Okay. Okay. So let's see what's in here that I can use and repurpose. Little strings. Some little bit of fabrics that I can put on pockets. This is me doing this kind of thing. This has got a hole in it right here that I can hang from a journal from the Sponjory. I wanted to make another mermaid journal. Here's another tag. So I'll put that over there if I want to pull that out again. You have a bead that is stuck to a half bead, I think. No. No, that's a gemstone. 2 little gemstones. One's blue, one's silver. Okay, there's a little flower, but I'm not going to use that one. These are little pieces off of fabric from the covers that I've made, that I've used. See, here's some of that plastic. I keep the littlest things, I'm telling you, man. But I'm going to repurpose it, see? That's one of them half beads. I don't like using those in my journals. This is a fabric flower. Might put that in there. Why not? Okay, nothing else in there except for that one. And I don't really care for that one. These are the things we used on our, to the kids that's younger than me. We use these on not just our mums for homecoming and stuff. We put these on our shoes, on our shoestrings. And as we walked, our teachers hated us. And it was a trend that we was doing. And the teachers complained about it enough because it was very, what do you call it, distracting. And when we'd be in class, we'd cross our feet and you could hear ka-ching-ching-ching. So our teachers made it to where we couldn't wear bells on our shoes no more. Even the drill team or the cheerleaders, people like that, you know, they couldn't, and they were the ones that were allowed to most times. They were even told they couldn't wear them either because they were very distracting to hear that, you know, kind of sound. And I admit, it was loud. Okay, so we're going to go with what I have here. But I kind of want to doll this stuff up. But then again, if I ink them, it's liable, because it's going to be moving around in there. That means it's going to be rubbing the inside of this pocket. And I don't want it to do that. So I'm not going to lavish those out because I don't want it to rub the vellum on the inside and change the color of the vellum on the inside. But we got, I should have grabbed 3. I mean, another one of these, 4 of them. Because I need 2 up there, 2 of these little ones down here, 2 of these little ones down here. There's a big one and a little one, so I need to find those again. Oh, put it up there. So, okay, I needed 1 more of these, so that one will go up there. And I have 2 of those, so that one will go up here. I need another one of those little bitty ones. I thought I grabbed it. That one's a little messed up. That's okay. Okie dokie. That's what it'll look like so far. Get up there. Get up there. Okay, what I do here is I'm going to fold, fold it over. I wish I had some of the stuff you use for Christmas time. You know, the, what do they call that? Tinsel. I wish I had some tinsel, because the long tinsel would look really pretty. An Easter journal, you could do this to an Easter journal, even though Easter's already done over. I'm going to put this to the side, because I'm not going to use it, because I only have 1, and that wouldn't look right. But yeah, an Easter journal, you could do something like this and put Easter eggs in there instead, maybe some florals of some kind, and some of the streamer, the grass stuff. Put that in there, and I'm just going to do this. It's going to make long skinny pieces this time, and that's fine. I want it to be really skinny. Every time I see this stuff, I want to talk about about something in particular, but I'm not going to talk about that on my channel. So, it deals with my faith. So, but anyway, see? And then you get that grass effect. You can do that, or you can just do little chunks. I'm going to do the grass effect this time, unlike this one. This one I did the little chunks, I call it. I tried to do, I tried to do hole punch, you know, the little round ones to make little round pieces. That did not work. So, okay, I have enough for one. Now I need to do it again. I'm going to put it over here. So about the sounds. Everybody's into the sounds. Sorry. I'm trying to keep it as skinny as I possibly can. I should be eating something, but I woke up last night, or early this morning. My reflux kicked up so bad. It was hurting me so bad. It had my heart just like racing too. I was sick to my stomach. And then all of a sudden, after I went to the bathroom, I just thought I had to go, you know, to the bathroom and go back to bed kind of thing. And while I was laying there, all of a sudden I kind of burped, just a little small burp, and then the bile. And I don't mean a little. I don't think I've ever burped up so much bile. Raymond said he has, my husband, he's saying he's having the same issue. So I think it's the soda. There for a long time, I quit drinking Pepsi, and I'm back to drinking Pepsi again, and I'm going to have to break myself. So, yeah, unfortunately. Do I have too much on this side? I think I need to add a little bit more over here. I don't know if anybody else is having that issue when they drink their sodas. It is atrocious on me, though. I was, like, diagnosed when I was a kid with reflux. Okay. I think that'll be just enough for both sides. Okay. I think that'll be good. Okay, so I still have that much left. Woohoo! Okay, now I can stuff it. I can stuff it. So I'm going to pull that one that way, so that way I know that goes in that side, this goes in this side. Now I'm going to, I should have went ahead and glued it, darn it. While I was doing all this, it could have been drying. Oh well, too little, too late. Now I have to. I'm just going to put it right on that edge, if that's possible. It might not be possible. Trying to make sure that it don't smush that way. I don't want it to take up any room if I can help it. Need to move this stuff out of my way. So we'll put this one over here. That will stay up there. And I'm just going to take my finger pressing away. Actually, I'm just going to use this. But you want to make sure that it, see, I got too much on the edge there. I mean, going inwards. It's too late. It's already done. This is why you want to go downwards, Patty. You come here. See, even though I was pushing that way, see how it still wants to go that way? And then you got all this glue on the edge. It's fine. This eraser is amazing for this. Because I have sit there and rubbed that and caused myself a blister on my finger trying to rub it. You can get these from the Dollar Tree if you're wondering what I'm talking about. These little things here. Away from there. Anyways, these little things. Oh well, it did. It kind of came inwards, which I didn't want it to do. Oh well. That kind of thing happens. You can sew it too. And it don't matter what kind of glue you're doing, it's going to do it the same. Even if you use hot glue, to me that would do worse. But wet glue is going to buckle your paper. It's going to make it be like that. I'm trying to get this glue off my finger. Get off. You can use this too. I'm just going to do that right now because I keep forgetting. See what I mean? It's right there. Just rub this across your finger like that. And it's gone. You just have to go on the outside now. Oh, that hurts now. Oh my goodness, does that hurt? This thumb, this knuckle here, and this knuckle. And you can see the blood vessel now. This one does it too. It has a blood vessel, but it doesn't have the burn. Oh my goodness, that nerve. Something's wrong with this finger's nerve. I don't know what I did. Me and my husband was playing the thumb game one day, and he was holding my thumb down, and he's stronger than me, of course. And I was trying to pull my thumb out from underneath it, and I did something. And ever since then, it's been giving me issues. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, it ain't your fault. Ooh, I had a piece of glue in there. Did you see that? It was sticking to it, so. See, we have an envelope of vellum. Isn't that cool? Ain't that cool? Now, when you put your things in, put them all the same way up. So that one's going in. Upwards. My eye is doing the tightening up thing. My husband said his has been doing that too. I don't know. Something that we're eating undoubtedly, because if he's doing what I'm doing, having the same issues as I'm having, then it's something that we're both ingesting for that to be happening to us. Now I want that to slowly go down without flipping over. And I'm going to put this down in there. Flip that over. I'm going to hold on to my garland stuff, or whatever you call this stuff, the tinsel. See how to fall to the bottom? Push this in behind. Try not to stretch it, because it will pull apart. I don't even know if I'm sitting here trying to teach something. This is the first time I'm doing it this way, so I don't know. Come on. There. Yeah, it moved its way this way, and I don't want it to. That's how you make shakers, if you're wondering. I'm just doing what I'm doing. My own thing. Doing my own thing. Be careful, don't pull on that too much, Betty, because it's still wet. Or, wet. It's not cured, in other words. Get in there. Get in there. It's like, no! I want to be in an Easter basket. That's tough. I want all these kind of things to kind of like that. Kind of like that. I like that. But I want that to stay on its own side. But the static electricity, I think, is what's pulling it. Get over there. Okay. Now I just need to figure out where the center is of these two. So like that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, this middle one is going to have to be the 9th one. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take that center piece right there, that middle one. And we're going to put a thing there. Come down here. Make my mark there. That lets me know that's the center. That's where I'll be sewing it into the signature. So that's where I'm going to fold. Let's see if I did good. Look at that. Perfect. I can hear the cats on the house. Literally, Cats on a Tin Roof, because that's what this trailer's made from, is a tin roof. Anyways, give them a fiddle. Fiddle on the, cat with a fiddle on the tin roof. How does that go? Anyway, so when it's opened up, that's how it'll look. The other side you won't see because it'll be the pocket part, where it'll go behind like that. And this will stay raised in enough room. And then I'm going to fill this side now. And then I'll have to glue it down, remembering which side I want upwards. Okay, that one can go down here. That one stays up here. And get in there. Get in there. I thought I put 2 vellums in them. I guess I only put 1. Okay, there is the ones that are 1 in there. Now I'm going to flip it over. Let the stuff fall to the other side. Open it up. Try not to pop it because stuff will flip over if you do. Try to spread that out the best I can without causing the goodies to flip over on me. Just an artistic kind of thing. Think of it as that. Not even as a shaker. But just an artistic piece that you want to put in your journal. I'm just going to throw those little pieces in there. Why not? Waste not, want not. Come back here. Anything else? Oh, there's another piece. Okay. Now I'm going to flip it over and see. I'll just jiggle it around before I close it up so it's ready for me. Bringing this one this way. The red can go underneath the tinsel. Get in the. I just want to see. And then I can shake it up and make it move around a little bit better once it's glued down. I just think this would be pretty like this. That's the reason why I'm doing it. And like I said, you don't have to do it my way. You can do it your way. Of course. See, I want this to be at the background. See, maybe I shouldn't. Oh well, that one's already behind there. So we want them to match. So I'm just going to put this one down here. Want these things to move around a little bit better. There we go. I like that. Not let it grab me, the cellophane. Come here. Stay over here. Oh, see, that one's trying to go down underneath. Get back up there. And like I said, once you have it sewed in, they're not going to be able to make it to the other side. In there. Do I like that? Yes, I do. I'm good. I'm good with that. I don't know where the vellum went on this side. Went. Let's flip it over and see. There it is. It's right there. It's right in here where it can't be seen. This is when I'm going to grab this, because it keeps grabbing me. Okay, we're going to just flip you over so you don't keep moving around. Come here. Okay, not that one. That was my crappy one. Sorry, I said crappy, but the bad one. Been hanging around my husband this week, and that's tape. Almost stuffed dirty tape down in there. That goes well. That looks better. Because I can still see that one. I can still see that one. Over here, I can barely see that one, but that's okay. This one, this one, this one. So I just got to make sure these are sticking up so it keeps it raised. And it gives me that effect. Just remember, you better have a plastic or some kind of hard surface to write on, because anytime you have these half beads, these half pearls, when you're using these, anything that, like, say it's on this page here, anything that's on this page, say this is a 2-page journal page thing, and you're going to write on them, and you have something with a bead like that on that surface, and then you go to write on this side, you're going to feel that bead. For instance, where's it at? There it is. This one right here. See, I can feel that bead on the front of that flower right here, and this flower here. I can feel it. So if you're writing, you're going to, boom, boom, you know, it's going to hit that. That's why you want the plastic or the one thing to go on this side, so that when you're writing, you don't feel that. If it's on this side of your page, I don't know what to tell you. Don't do it on that side of the page. Otherwise, you're not going to be... Try and stick to one side so that you can put your paper on that side. See what I'm saying? Just a thought. Now I got to get this all back up here without avalanching. Get up there. Get up there. Sorry about my freckles. I can't get it to stay. It wants to flop back down. Okay, before this moves again, push that down in there. Okay. I'm going to glue that one down. Although I could just probably sew it together instead. But I want it to be glued, because I don't want anything to come out. Now, to keep it from doing the bleeding that way thing that it did on this side, what you can do is rub it before you close it. Just take your finger and go down it, but keeping your finger this way. Just leaving a little bit of that glue right on that edge. Just enough for it to catch. But you don't want it too raised. See, I took most of that off. Okay. And then we're going to press that down with a little air in there. Just tap it. Once it's dry, I can clean things up. But right now, I just want to seal it up. See, I can't press. If I press, it's going to do that. Can you see it with the darkness behind there? But if you just tap it and just close it up, it'll stay thin. If you can see where I press too hard, oh well. It is what it is. But I need to make sure this side is closed up. See, there's an opening right there. And I just know something's going to make its way out. I actually have a brand new mat in my closet over there. I am just like going to wear this thing out. This has already been flipped over and I'm using the other side now. What is that? Oh, little piece of yarn. And there we go. There's my little pockets. Now I could glue this down or I could sew it down. It's totally up to you. But yeah, just like that. And I've got my pockets. I would glue on the back side here, all the way down on this side, all the way down on this side. Be careful because, again, you don't want to take away from your pocket. If you can sew it, would probably be better, but better wait until it totally dries, which is what I'm going to do. Because if you don't, this glue, if it's not totally dry, it will get on your needle and it'll press it down in there around your threads that's down inside on your bobbin. So I'm just going to let it dry. I got accomplished what I wanted accomplished. And now I have this, once it's sewed down, this will be a pocket here. See it glued down over there? Anyways, this will be a pocket over here like this one is. It'll be like this. Gotta be careful moving around because the dust will get all, see, it's already trying to come out. But it'll be like that. See how it's sewed down? I think. Let me look on the other side. I don't want to move it over top. Yeah, see, it's sewed. So I sewed this one down the side, and it made a pocket. That's essentially what this will be. I just, on this side of the signature, I did that, and I didn't like it. So, and as you can see why. So, I don't want that inside my journals. My journal. I don't know what that is. Oh well. Again, my journal, so don't matter to me. Excuse my stomach. Let's see if I can get that off. That's dry. Okay, so once that's dry, I will sew that to this paper here, and this will become a signature in my journal. There will be other papers. It's in the middle. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Once it's glued down, or sewed down. Let me just go all back over there again. So it's out of my way. Wait, this isn't the one. Where's it at? Oh, it's over here. This is the signature. So it's going to go right on the other side of that. This will go in between here. Man, my stomach's making noises. I'm sorry, y'all. I wonder if my husband grabbed the things that I made. I made some kolaches yesterday for him. We had went to the bakery the other day, about a week ago. I called it the other day. And we liked the kolaches that they were selling, and I was like, well, I can make those. And it's cheaper because those kolaches were expensive. So we bought the stuff to make, so I can make the kolaches, and they turn out really good. And if you want to know, you use croissants, lay the croissant out. The point of how they go into like a pie shape, you know, take that point at the tip, flip it over, lay it down, and smush it down. Separate the best you can, and then put your pre-cooked sausage, whatever you're using, if you're going to do sausage, pre-cook it. And because my husband, the first time I did it, I didn't pre-cook the sausage, and it was too, like, for me it was fine. For him, he don't have teeth, hardly. So it's harder for him to bite into it. So I had to pre-cook it. And he loved it after I pre-cooked it. I actually loved it. But yeah, I used this long length sausage. It's real skinny, about probably as thick as my finger, this finger here. And it's real long. And I cut them in half. And then I put them in a pan and I cook them. And then I take and put, I pre-cooked some scrambled eggs, like an omelet kind of shape, so that I can make squares. And I'll put that with the sausage, and then I took a piece of his cheese. It's a round cheese he uses. I cut it in half, and it's for his lunches, I mean. And I put that on there, and I roll it up. And then I put it on the pan, let it cook. You can cover it and everything with some kind of oil, and it makes it more crispy. But I don't want to go overboard when it comes to cooking. I'm not a lazy cook, I'm just frugal. Why did that get smaller? I'm going to have to hold on a minute. I got to re-flatten this the correct way. Otherwise it's not going to look right in the book. Anyways, it's an easy way to make your own kolaches and save money. Granted, that's taken from that person's business, that makes it sell, me telling y'all to do it that way. But also, I'd rather you save money, with the economy like it is. Anyway, I'm gonna hush. There, right about there. And this is how it'll look. I'll get my paper in there. So, okay, we're moseying on. Here we go. I'm gonna just hold that down. So there's our pages. Blah, 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 blah. Just doing it. And then here's that. There's that paper. And it will be sewed down. So when we open it, see? And it looks so pretty. I actually like that. But this is for me. It's my journal. It's supposed to be making me happy, not you. It's supposed to make me happy. And then the other side of that, which is over here. So you go past all these papers up that I haven't even done yet. And then we come to that side. So that's how it's done. But I'm not going to put it in yet because I need to sew it together. I'm just going to put this over here, and then we'll work on the next page. I got the hiccups. I know what it is. It's my the acids in my gut saying, hey, you need to eat something or we're going to eat you. We're going to eat you. Okay. What is up and what is down? This was the front. Okay. So this is the next one that I'll work on. What will I do with it? Again, you can use vellum, make a pocket. There's all kinds of things. Like I've taken pictures from a book, put it as the background, put vellum as the pocket to keep the picture from being taken from, and then outline it with a pretty ribbon or a lace to make it look real pretty. I did that with the mermaid journal, if I'm not mistaken. I wanted her to look like a mermaid, and the vellum kind of kept it where you could still see her. She had her feet in the water, and it looked like she was a mermaid, but she wasn't. It was just a Victorian visual, kind of thing where she had her legs in the water. I don't know how to put it, but yeah. I need to go eat. I guess I could come back later when that's dry and finish that in front of y'all. I could. I want a pink on that side. That's too big. But that would have been cute. That would be cute too, but these are my mom's. Let's see. I'm looking at all the laces and stuff I have here. I could even put that on the edge, but Okay, I've already used this. I used it. Hold that down. Yeah, I used it here. It's not that close, but it's kind of close. So where's the other one like it? I'll use it instead. This one. Yeah. Okay. So I could do that. Like that. No, can't see it. I need something a little bit darker. The peach is too peachy. It's not pinky enough. Okay, I'm going to have to go in my stash, y'all. I don't know, but I gotta go to the bathroom. I got an old lady's bladder. I'm sitting there doing a dance in my chair. I mean it. I'm like, ugh. This one probably won't show up either. But it is adorable. It is so cute. Let me move that needle before I end up getting it in my feet. Something like this. Lay that down. Glue it like that. That one would be cute. I'm going to go look at the other laces. But in the meantime, I'm going to take a break. I'll come back later. You can keep an eye out for my next video, and which will be later. But I'm going to sew this when I come back. I'm going to look at my laces and my ribbons and see what I have that can go with this page. But yeah, I'd like to find something pink so it'll pop out behind this one, because this one will be like here over the top of it. And I want it to kind of pop out even though you can't see it. You know what? I think I will. I'm going to grab another one of this paper, and I'm going to glue it to the back because I don't like this one being solid white. But yeah, and it'll have the white square. It'll have that white square on this side, but it'll have this pretty around it. I don't like this being plain white. So, okay, we're going to move that, but I'm not going to do that right now. I got to go bathroom. I got the old lady bladder. So I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. I'll talk to you in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Depends. I don't know what time it is. If it's still breakfast time, I might find a little small snack to do me over until lunchtime so I don't eat a big meal or anything like that. So I'll probably just grab one of my kolaches that I have in there. They're not real big. They're like this big. And I'd probably either cut it in half, eat half the kolache. I'm on a diet. I'm going to lose weight because I'm getting worried about my health. A lot of things I've been noticing, and I don't know anything about how to take care of myself when it comes to diabetes. And my thing is, I don't know why, because I was very stickler with my stepbrother when he had diabetes. He actually lost one of his feet, and one of his feet. He lost his left foot, I do believe it was. And he eventually passed away, but yeah. And I was very stickler with him, but I'm not an alcoholic either. He was an alcoholic, and I think it just really messed with his, habits. I don't laugh at that. I'm laughing at the fact that I don't know how to put it. My brain is just not working right now because all I'm thinking about is urinating. I've got to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to talk to y'all later. Love you all. Talk to you later. Bye. Sorry I'm kind of like all over the place. Ow. Golly, I'm getting old. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Get it turned off. There we go. Come on. Did it turn off? Am I still going? Turn off. Okay.